Okay, guys, so today we are going to go over y-intercept. Y-intercept is another part of the slope-intercept form. First, let's go ahead and get down the EQ. The EQ says, how do we find y-intercept from tables or graphs? And let's go right back to our equation of y equals mx plus b. And obviously, y is your dependent variable. X is your independent variable. Slope is m. That's what we worked with yesterday and the day before. Today, we are talking about the b right here. B is called the y-intercept, but it's also where the line crosses the y-axis on the graph. We're going to use that later. It's also the y value when x is equal to 0. We'll use that later. It's also the starting point. It's also the number being added or subtracted, which is also called the constant. Okay. So now we're going to talk about ways to find y-intercept. And we're going to start with tables. With tables, you find y-intercept when you look for the value of y where x is equal to 0. Okay. For example, we've got two tables here. If we look at table 1, I'm looking for x to be 0, and I see that x is 0 right here. So looking at this, what is your y value when x equals 0? The y value here is 5. So 5 is your y-intercept. Real simple, isn't it? What happens if you don't see an x at 0? If you don't see x at 0, you extend the table. It's kind of like when we were doing proportional versus non-proportional. So looking at my table, am I going to go left to find 0 or right? Definitely going to go right. Let's go and extend our table. I'm going to use dotted lines to show that I'm extending it. And if I go to the very next one, these are going by ones. So if that's the case, the next one here is going to be 1. Well, that's not what I want yet. So I go to the very next one, which will be 0. Well, let's go ahead and keep extending the bottom too. These are going up by 2s. So this is going to be 14, and I'm not where I want to be. This one will be 16. So where x is 0, the y value is 16, and that is my y-intercept. Blow that up. So let's put it here. Y-intercept equals 16, okay? Turning over to graphs, looking at graphs. With graphs, the y value where the line crosses the y-axis. I'm sorry, the x, yes, the y value where the line crosses the y-axis, okay? Make sure you understand that this is your y going up and down, and this is your x. Some kids look at the x-axis. So where my line crosses is right here. Well, the coordinates of that are x0, which makes sense, and y is 1, 2, 3, 4. So the y-intercept equals 4. Looking at this one, where it crosses the y-axis, well, oh, it's below 0, it's right here. Well, these coordinates are x is 0, which again makes sense. And then y is 1, 2, negative 2. So there the y-intercept is negative 2. And last but not least, equations and word problems. From equation to word problems, it's the number being added or subtracted. So looking at y equals 3x minus 2, notice I highlighted the minus 2 because that minus goes with the 2, so the y-intercept is negative 2. Remember, we're used to seeing the y equals mx plus b, okay? Looking at this example, y equals 1/2 x plus 4. Plus 4, I highlighted that, and so I said the y-intercept is 4, or plus 4, you could say that. Let's look at a word problem. It says Brandon pays $25 per ticket plus $50 for parking, $50 for parking. Well, if I wanted to write this equation, y would be the cost of the parking and the tickets together. So it's $25 per ticket. I can say X is my number of tickets plus $50 parking. circle this, that's what's being added. The y-intercept is equal to 50. Guys, I hope you understood this. This is so much easier than slope, okay? You guys